Hey guys, this is Hell Hades. This is a Raid Shadow Legends video. Guys, they've just announced some of the summon events that are going on this weekend. We're probably going to be pulling shards anyway, right? Because we're going for this fusion and we need to get involved in the summon rush, which is starting from tomorrow. Basically, there's a chance to get a copy of Endalia during the summon rush if you pull enough shards. We don't know the points for that yet, but it's probably going to be a reasonable amount of shards to do it. They've got a guaranteed Void Legendary on at the same time. So I guess that might just kind of defer your decision around what type of shards you might pull if you've got shards to pull. I've also been asked a question like, oh, these epics, if I cannot get this rat, are there any of these epics that I should be going for? Or, you know, which one or two would you recommend for a lower level player? I'd say Scrap Morag feels like a complete waste of space of an epic to me. I would say Aishma hits reasonably hard on her AoE, brings some poison, brings some debuff extension, half decent epic. I'd say Endalia will help you with Magma Dragon, really good for Hydra as well. So I think she would be a good contender for one to pick up if you can only pick up a couple. Trombor is an interesting one because he actually smacks with his AoE if he removes a debuff off of your whole team. If you were pairing him with someone like a Gerptuck, and I will do a video on this with these epics involved, I feel like he could actually be a high damage dealer on his AoE, like legendary level in terms of damage with that AoE. Also brings a Weaken and a Leech, which is decent for Clan Boss. Brings Ally Protect. I feel like he is probably the one that if I picked one of the four on like a free-to-play, he'd be the one I'd go for, followed by Endalia. But I guess base it on your accounts, and as I say, I will do a video showing them off in the next couple of days. So let's talk about the shard event then, and I guess talk about how I feel about it. Let's talk about the guaranteed legendary first. Guaranteed Void Legendary. When we first saw his kit, we were thinking he is going to be the arena meta. We were thinking he is going to be the best thing since sliced bread. Turns out, he just doesn't hit hard enough. The trouble is, right, it's a guaranteed legendary, but you would have to pull 110 Void Shards, which is high. It's high compared to other guaranteed legendaries they've done. And in my opinion, that's borderline obscene. It's borderline obscene. Now, the trouble is, right, this guy, his kit is insane, but he doesn't hit hard enough. If they buffed his multipliers, then the Krakens would be all over this. Yeah, they would literally be like, damn, this guy is insane. Attack A1 here. Attacks one enemy, steals all buffs, cannot be resisted. Yeah, only happens on the first hit, but cannot be resisted. It's a crazy A1. After the first hit, every other hit will increase his damage. The A2 attacks an enemy, ignores strengthen, stone skin, increased defense, ally protects. If he kills someone, he gets stone skin. This needs to hit hard though, because he's got to kill someone. And he doesn't ignore defense. He just ignores the buffs. That's the big difference. You've got Baron ignores defense. The new guy, the Breaker, ignores defense. This guy doesn't. He just ignores the buffs. It's very different. But if he does kill someone, getting Stone Skin is damn awesome. And then you've got the AoE here. Basically, before he attacks, removes increased defense and replaces it with decreased defense, will remove strength and replaces it with weaken. And these cannot be resisted. Like, that's a great skill as well, situationally, but it doesn't hit hard enough. And then he got a very cool passive. So you basically build him as a nuke, and he gains HP and defense for that. Everything about his kit written down is good, but he doesn't hit hard enough. I just want to show you a quick comparison. This is Alil versus the Breaker, the new guy. The guy, the Nutcracker, yeah? I did a video on him yesterday. What you want to look at here, this is like arena damage based on scenarios. So we're basing it on the Breaker hitting ignore defense with his abilities. We're assuming masteries, which are damage-based masteries. Yeah, all that type of normal stuff, right? The Breaker, with his single target hits for 57k. Alil, with his single target hit, both of these need to kill to get their next ability away, hits for less than half. In fact, nearly a third of the damage. The Breaker with his AoE smack hits for 40k. Alil with his AoE smack hits for less than half of the damage. Right now, this guy is not worth 10 void shards, let alone 110. So that is a watch out. But who knows if they're going to buff him? If they literally open their eyes, they're like that at the moment, like, I don't know where we're going. If they just open their eyes and like, okay, the Breaker, everyone's hypey about, a Lil, nobody likes. Should we just have a look at what's going wrong and then fix him? If they just fix his multipliers, overnight, he's back in the meta, yeah? So that's the watch out, and we don't know if they're going to do that. Okay, let's move on to the normal champions then in the ×10. And you know what? Raid are not stupid. They want their Christmas bonus. They have picked a load of champions who are coming out as top draw for the new dungeon. I say they're not stupid. I guess it depends how many people actually want to do the new dungeon, right? So the Krakens, yeah, money's coming from the Krakens this week. But the average player, I think, well, we know they don't have to pull shards for the fusion, so maybe they're just like, they don't have to pull shards anyway, and the Krakens are going to open their wallets. So let's have a look then at the champions. The first one, I would say, is basically trash. Where does she live? Up here. The first one is a trash bag. Chancellor Yasmin. 50% chance of removing all buffs from all enemies, then places a sleep for 1 turn. I guess maybe they're just saying, you know what, this is a guaranteed sleep. People need sleep. Let's put her in the mix. Her kit is kind of bad. You know what? If they made this into a full team heal on a 3-turn, not 2-turn, on a 3-turn, then she kind of makes sense for this new dungeon a bit. But still, like, a 4-turn cooldown on the sleep, it's just too long. It's too damn long. Nothing else is going on. She's basically useless. The next one is actually a video coming out on my channel about this young lass on Saturday, where I team up with YST to talk about Cornelia. This champion can solo all sorts of Doom Tower bosses, and that's what we show in that video. I think 5 Doom Tower bosses she solos. She's got a funky old kit, and she would be decent enough for this new boss. So 40% chance of increasing the cooldown of a target's skill. That helps you on 1 Doom Tower boss. Her A2, she can sleep enemies as well and put fears out. And then her A3, this is where she comes the solo queen. She sleeps somebody on your team, and if they get woken up, they get a full heal. Yeah, so if she sleeps herself, when she's taking damage, someone hits her, she wakes up, she's like, ah, oh, and by the way, I'm full health. And that's how YST has been getting her to solo a whole ton of bosses. Also got speed in all battles. She is a quirky champion. I won't say, like, all of a sudden I would be thrown into loads of teams after doing that collab with YST. But if you need someone that can get you through Doom Tower, she's probably the best at it. Next champion is almost like a must-have epic. So this is a good one to put in for this fusion. You know, if people are pulling shards anyway, Allure is top quality. A1 triple hit, drops turn meter with every critical hit. And that's pretty much what she's all about. She does have a sleep. I don't think she could sleep this new boss. 30% chance of placing decreased defense. She places a sleep on targets under decreased defense. So that's not going to work on the new boss. I don't know if the people that made this list realize that. And then she's got a bit of a nuke on her A3. Accuracy and faction trips, whatever. She's basically a Fire Knight and Dark Fae goddess. Right, next one up is the Void. And damn, what a Void. We've got ourselves Seer. So yeah, if you're going to be pulling Void shards because you want a Lil, that's up to you. I really don't know what to do about that. But yes, you could get Seer along the way. Seer is the queen of nukes. She's the queen of wave clear. She's the queen of Doom Tower wave clear. Basically, the best damage dealing wave clearer in the game. All because of her A3. She rips buffs off of your team. And she puts people to sleep. But she also hits them for an absolute KO. So the sleep part of this here, I guess, could work against the new boss. But feels like a pretty weak option. Okay, onto the legendaries then. First one up, one of my favourite legendaries in the game, Prince Kaimar, can be used in a ton of places. Speed farms, arena, Doom Tower wave clearing, all of that stuff because of his A3. Resets the cooldown of your team's skills and gives them a turn meter boost. So your team do their moves. Next wave, he goes, resets everything, and they do their moves again. And then just like that, good luck. Basically, everyone's dead. He does have the sleep, so he's got the sleep against the new boss if that's what you wanted it for on a 3-turn. This is a good ability anyway. He's got poison, he's got arena, speed. Great legendary champion. Okay, next one on the list. think it's a Night Rev. Yeah, Gaius. Some fun stuff to do with Gaius. He is a good bomb champion for the arena, mainly because his passive. You can do some funky stuff. I've done videos on this guy. Certainly on my free-to-play, I got him as a fusion and was able to basically create a bomb team for the arena where even if my whole team died, the other whole team died as well, and I won. You basically would go A2, AoE hit, drop a load of bombs, put them to sleep. They go on for 2 turns. They become a 1 turn by the time people have woken up. And then by the time they actually get a go, they're dead. And if they nuke me, then you basically got this. Instantly detonates all bombs whenever this champion is killed. So if he goes down, all of the enemy go down as well. Very fun champion. I've been playing around with him on the new boss, actually. Can't really get it to work that well. He is a decent sleep champion, 3-turn sleep. So he is decent for that. Bombs aren't really doing the damage that we would hope they would. Surprise, surprise. Bombs are only good for the arena still. Unless you're a rat and can turn them into poisons. Yeah, so bombs still not doing the do. Next champion in the mix here is someone that I'm actually pretty damn keen to get. I think one of the best champions for this new boss, Noct. So he's got an ability to sleep the enemy, see the new boss. Put poisons on the boss as well. More debuffs means less damage to you. And then he's got his second ability here that the ally protects your team, puts heals out for them. When someone attacks someone under ally protection, 40% chance per hit of sending that person to sleep. So the new boss goes to sleep. You put a load of debuffs out. You do your damage. He wakes up, hits you with his ability, and goes back to sleep again. Pretty much, as long as this is out. So yeah, he's probably the second best. I thought he was the best. I think he's probably the second best champion in the game to do that sleep mechanic and to keep it consistently rolling over and to give you a long window to get your debuffs out. But the last champion, I've kind of switched their places. I thought this guy was second best. I think he's actually best. And this is where Krakens are going to be burning the cash. Shador. The reason why Krakens will be burning their cash to get this champion for the new boss is because you kind of need 2. You need 2 of these dudes because you're not 100% consistent to get this boss to sleep with this guy. It's like an 85 and you want 100 really. So Krakens, I think, will want to double up on this guy. The funny thing is as well, like loads of these Krakens that have got the big void +4s, yeah, they fed their Shadors into Ramantu to make Ramantu +1, +2, +3, whatever. And Ramantu's kind of dropped out of the meta, albeit he might be coming back. And Shador is left wondering where the hell he is. So I think a lot of people that are big spenders will be buying up void shards anyway, going for Shador, and they'll kind of pick up a lil along the way. So basically, you need someone else to get this guy to sleep. He then places poisons, or you use a toxic set on him with another chance to place poisons. The boss wakes up and hits, similar to Noct. But before the boss hits, the passive kicks in here. So instantly attacks enemies with default skill if they receive damage from poison that he put out there. And he'll run in and A1. Books up to 75, 80% chance if you use the mastery here to put him back to sleep. Fears and Presence puts them back to sleep. So before the boss even hits you, he's asleep again. And then you've got the whole kind of, turn meter bar to get your debuffs out and basically rinse and repeat. The boss never wakes up. So Shador, double Shador, I guess, is the way to do that 100%. But it is, that's pretty much all he's used for. He is a good champion in his own right, but kind of falls down compared to others in almost all areas of the game. Like, if you just picked him up, he's a great champion to have if you're a newer player, but he doesn't really get into end game teams. But there you go. That is the Shard event. I guess, who's pulling for a lil? Let me know. And what do you think of the rest? I've been Hell Hades. I'll see you later.